Good afternoon, folks. Aaron Dorr here with Iowa Gun Owners. Guys, it's some breaking news I want to talk to you guys about. Perhaps you've seen this in the news in the last hour. Perhaps you haven't. There was a mass shooting that was averted. A mass shooting could have been far, far worse earlier this morning. I guess it'd be this morning now in Oklahoma because of an armed citizen and perhaps because of constitutional carry law, which is the law of the land in Oklahoma. We're going to break that down, guys, in this video. You're going to want to see this. I'm going to host a watch party right now. And when that's done, we're going to kick off this video. Guys, if you have not yet hosted a watch party, if you want to do that for us, help us out. That'd be great. Ben, as you're watching this, if you could put the description in the comments and pin that on the primary video, Ben, that'd be great. I see Jennifer, Robert, Julie, Thomas, Brian, Gary, Antonia, JC. JC, your shirt got shipped out, by the way, this morning. I packaged it up myself Saturday night, so watch your mailbox. So this story is breaking all over the news right now. Gunman shoots man and woman, two men and a woman at a Oklahoma Walmart. This happened this morning, happened at around 10:30. This happened in Duncan, Oklahoma, which is about 80 miles south of Oklahoma City. And so the news is going wild with another mass shooting, 3 people dead, 2 men and a woman. And here's what they're not talking about. I had to go to Daily Mail, the European, the English news service, dailymail.uk, to find the truth about this, which is that this shooting, guys, in Duncan, Oklahoma, happened this morning. It says it right here. When confronted by an armed citizen, the suspect turned the gun on himself. The shooter in Oklahoma could have killed dozens more, for all we know. He turned the gun on himself, ended his own life because he was confronted by an armed citizen. This could have been just like El Paso. There could have been 22 dead, just the same as it was in El Paso. Could have been far more fatalities. And it didn't happen because Oklahoma is a constitutional carry state. And in Oklahoma, any law-abiding American, any law-abiding Oklahoman can carry a firearm. They don't have to beg the government's permission. They don't have to, beg and plead, add their name to a government database. They don't have to pay a fee to the state to carry a firearm. They can just, carry a gun the way our forefathers intended it. And that is the real story out of what happened today in Oklahoma. 3 people are dead. Honestly, I can't tell if that includes the gunman. Witnesses say there was a domestic dispute taking place in the parking lot between a husband and a wife, but did not add further details. So it could have been a husband and wife. It could have been a domestic violence type deal. We're not sure what all it was. What we do know is that this could have been massively worse. It could have been massively worse, and it was stopped by an armed citizen. And as is so often the case, he didn't even have to shoot the guy. As is so often the case, these cowards, when they see an armed citizen who has the ability to fight back, he simply chose to end his own life with his own firearm. That is the ideal outcome as far as I am concerned for one of these mass shootings. And folks, I'm sorry, but as good as this news is, it just makes my blood boil when I think about how we still do not have constitutional carry law here in Iowa because our friends in Des Moines continue to stand in the way. And so, guys, Brad Zahn, the chairman of Judiciary, the chairman of the committee, and Lying Dan Dawson, the vice chair, and Jason Schultz, the guy who has been trying to pretend he supports this bill for the last 10, 11 years now, these people need to be held to account because this is not just a pro-Second Amendment bill. It's not just good politics. This is life-saving legislation. And Iowans need to have this law passed. Iowans have earned the passage of this bill by electing a self-avowed pro-gun majority over the last couple of election cycles. And so, folks, you need to help us. Help us hold Brad Zahn, Dan Dawson, and Jason Schultz accountable in the Iowa Senate, especially in the Judiciary Committee, for their actions that have prevented Iowans from enjoying the same rights that gun owners in Oklahoma have enjoyed, that they currently enjoy right now. Makes me sick. It makes me sick that we have to beg permission. We have to beg permission from the state and pay fees and add our name to a government database simply to carry a firearm for self-defense. I have to receive a message here, guys. Give me just 1 second here. Got to take care of something that's urgent right now. Hang on 1 second. Almost done here. Man, this is breaking all across the state right now. This is the story that we need to make sure we do not forget about as we approach the 2020 session. These lawmakers promised they would deliver the goods on constitutional carry. We see today how urgent it is to put more guns in the hands of law-abiding people. There could have been dozens of fatalities at this Walmart, just as there was 3 weeks ago, I guess it was 3 months ago now, 2.5 months ago, at the El Paso, Texas Walmart. And there wasn't, because an armed guy was there to deal with the problem. Guys, if it makes you mad that Oklahomans enjoy this freedom and we don't, if it makes you mad that gun owners in contiguous states like Missouri and South Dakota enjoy these rights and we don't, if this pisses you off, then help us. Help us in this fight for 2020. There's a link beneath this video right now for your renewal form for 2020. We have just begun the 2020 renewal membership drive, and we need all hands on deck, guys. We need to fight back on this. I see Ryan just got signed in. Ryan was the first person who tagged me in the story about this earlier this morning. Ryan and I grew up about 5 blocks apart for a long time. And Ryan, in case you missed this, the shooting today in Oklahoma was stopped only because there was an armed citizen in the parking lot. And when he heard the gunfire, he drew his firearm and drew down on the suspect, apparently, who then, when he was facing an actual armed opposition, he ended his own life. Boom, problem solved. This could have been a far, far, far more deadly mass shooting. 3 people are dead, it says, folks. I'm not sure if that includes the gunman. 3 people are dead. It could be 3 plus the gunman. It could be 3 including the gunman. But it happened in a state where constitutional carry is protected, where the Second Amendment is protected, where gun owners don't have to beg to carry a firearm. They don't have to pay a fee to carry a firearm. They don't have to add their name to a government database to carry a firearm. If they're a law-abiding citizen, they can just carry like our forefathers intended. But again, in Iowa, let's not forget, in Iowa, we are required to pay fees to the state, to put our name into a government database, and jump through these hoops to be able to carry a firearm. This is insane that these people continue to tell us in Des Moines how pro-gun they are, and they continue to impede this bill year after year after year. If it makes you mad, give me a thumbs up. It makes me mad. This is absolutely ridiculous that all these states all around us are passing this bill, and in Iowa, we're getting a great big middle finger from people like Brad Zahn and Jason Schultz and Lying Dan Dawson and others. You know what? Something else about Jason, I'm going to have a video on this maybe tomorrow, for sure this week. But, you know, I came across our candidate surveys from 2012, which is the last time that Jason had a contested election. And you know what, folks? I'm kind of sad that I only rediscovered this here recently. But you know how I've told you about all these liars who surveyed 100% on the Second Amendment, 100% on constitutional carry to receive our help, like Lying Dan Dawson. You know, folks, I came across a survey of Jason Schultz recently, again, where Jason promised that he would absolutely support this bill all the way to the mat. Only, of course, as you guys all know now, last session, he chickened out again for the second year in a row, and he tanked it. But you know what? He wasn't the only one. I also found the survey for Amy Sinclair. You guys might know her as Angry Amy, the bitter angry, just down. I mean, people tell me that she's the most angry person in the entire Iowa Senate right now. I don't know why. I don't know what has her so upset, but she is a bitter-tongued, bitter-attitude woman. And Angry Amy, who also has refused to support this bill, that's all session long in Des Moines, she also promised in writing, and we're going to show you guys these surveys later on. We're going to show you guys these surveys where when they need our help at election time, these people all come to us and beg like a dog, but then when they're in office, they then dare to tell gun owners to stand in line, take a number, shut up, and they'll get to us when they dang well please. And guys, that is a difference between Iowa lawmakers and, in today's case, Oklahoma lawmakers. Because last year, when the then Governor Mary Fallin in Oklahoma vetoed constitutional carry, lawmakers in that state were enraged. They were enraged at her, at their Republican sitting governor, for vetoing this incredible pro-gun bill. And so this year, just a couple months ago, with a new governor, they rolled right back into the state capitol and they rammed that bill through. And the first bill that the governor signed in that state this year, the first bill, I believe, was constitutional carry law. It was the first bill. It was first bill in South Dakota, and it was the first bill the governor signed in Oklahoma as the new governor. You see, that's how pro-gun lawmakers in those states deal with moderates. That's how pro-gun lawmakers defend us. That's what they're supposed to do. In Iowa, no. In Iowa, we have Brad Zahn and Jason Schultz and Dan Dawson, who all tell us how tough they are, who all tell us how ballsy they are for gun owners, and they're cowards. They're quizzlings who sit there all session long and say, no. If you want us to pass a gun bill, you guys are going to get on your knees and beg. You're going to beg us, even though they're the ones who are begging us for support at election time. We will not play that game. They will never get support from us again. They'll never get support from us again if they are going to refuse to support this legislation. So, guys, that is the big news story that you're not going to hear about on the fake news anywhere. That the shooting today in Oklahoma was only stopped after the guy had killed 3 people. The photographs, I got a couple photographs right here. You can see some overheads here. The guy shot this car to smithereens. There's bullet holes all through the windshield. Top photograph. You probably see it right there. You can also see his dirty, rotten corpse in the bottom photograph laying there. And that shooter is dead, not because the cops got there in time. I'm not smashing the cops. It's just the reality. They can't be everywhere. Not because the cops got there in time. Not because some triggered liberal wet himself in the parking lot watching this happen. No, this shooting was stopped because this guy, this monster, was confronted by an armed citizen. The armed citizen pulled out his firearm, confronted the suspect, and he did what they so often do. He ate his own gun. Mass shooting averted, further higher body count averted, because there was a citizen there with his or her firearm and ready to defend himself or herself and others. And again, we're not sure right now if this person had a permit, but here's the deal. They don't need a permit in Oklahoma because this year they changed that law and there's no need for a permit. And so again, this is what proud, strong, pro-gun leadership looks like by passing constitutional carry. In Iowa, we have quizzlings who are terrified of the Des Moines Register, who are terrified of KCCI, who are terrified of the Gazette. Hell, you got people like Dan Dawson who are even terrified of the Nonpareil over in Council Bluffs and Omaha area. We have cowards. Now, again, they're very willing to take your support at election time. They're very willing to come and ask for your money, come and ask for your volunteer time, come and ask for your votes. But when you need them to, I don't know, represent you and do what you tell them to do, when you need them to, I don't know, keep their campaign promises, they're nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found. Earlier this session, guys, I was having a meeting with the subcommittee. It was a private meeting before our constitutional carry subcommittee took place. We actually were meeting in a glorified janitorial closet in the basement right next to the men's bathroom in the basement of the Iowa Capitol. I was meeting with the three senators who comprise the subcommittee of this, and all three of them, the two Republicans, Schultz being the chairman, and the Democrat, Tony Bisignano, confirmed for me that the number one issue that they were receiving emails on all session, up until this point anyway, was constitutional carry. And they were, all of them, being deluged. My mom's watching right now. Maybe she can tell me, is it deluged or I think it's deluged. I'm sorry. It's whatever. Being hammered with emails from their district demanding passage of this bill. And so despite all of this pressure, despite all the communication from their own constituents, they gave you and I and everybody in Iowa a great big middle finger this year when they vetoed this bill. And we will not know what future lives could be saved, what future mass shootings could be averted by having more guns in the hands of law-abiding citizens, because they can't do it right now. Right now, it is a crime in Iowa to do what people can do in Oklahoma, what they can do in Missouri, what they can do in South Dakota, because it's just common sense. Lawmakers in those states know that gun rights, putting more guns in the hands of law-abiding people, is the best way to stop violent crime. Guys, again, for today, we're kicking off our kind of our brand new 2020 membership renewal push. If you've renewed in the mail in the last week, thank you. If you've renewed on email in the last week, thank you. This only began in the last couple of days. If you've not yet renewed, the link is above this video right now. It's pinned in the comment section right now. You can renew right now, guys. Memberships start at $35 and go from there. There's all kinds of options for you. I only ask that you just get involved in this fight and put skin in this game, because this is going to be a major chance for us to move this bill in 2020. Because, again, this is an election year. If they're going to get the support of gun owners, they're going to have to earn it, by goodness. And those conversations are already going on from what insiders are telling us. So now is our chance. Now is our chance to double down the pressure, to triple the pressure, and make these people earn our votes, earn our support by making sure they advance constitutional carry law in 2020, guys. That's what I have for right now. Take a moment, renew your membership, hit the link above, share our video, guys. More to come tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care.